Thank you for joining our webinar introducing Turkey as an emerging apparel source for the US market. TurnkeyTurkiye is a nonprofit organization sponsored by the Ministry of Trade of Turkey and the Istanbul Apparel Exporters Association, with over 10,000 members shipping to 185 countries, over 17 billion US dollars annually. Our aim is to share this opportunity today and facilitate individual meetings with 15 of the top pre-selected factories based in Turkey. I was personally introduced to the opportunity to produce collections in Turkey in 2015 for my own Timo Weiland brand. Since that time, I've had the pleasure of introducing instrumental US brands and retailers to start sourcing from Turkey with great success in countless areas of growth. I would like to introduce you now to Aydin Karayevelioglu.
Yeah, I have my problem.
Who has been servicing the US apparel buyers market since 1995. He mainly uses Turkey as his production hub and has over the last 25 years has facilitated over 2 billion in imports to the United States. The next part of this webinar will be a quick review of fashion's wake-up call, followed by a Q&A. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Aydin Karayevelioglu. I have difficulty myself pronouncing my surname, so I could understand Timo. I'm the founder of TurnkeyTurkiye, a nonprofit organization for initiating and enhancing US and Turkish businesses. Again, I want to thank the Ministry of Trade of Turkey and Istanbul Apparel Exporters Association, with its 10,000 members, sponsoring this event. And today we're with executives of the 15 pre-selected factories, representing different categories. And thanks to our team over here, making this event possible. The global pandemic dictated the shutdown. It certainly dictated our business meeting to be on the Zoom today. And global economies has shrank, businesses has reduced, and it is being reduced across every category in apparel. Demand for apparel is expected to be reduced by 30% in 2020 and 14% in 2021. So probably consumerism is dying. A change, and more than a change, a transformation seems to be evident and imminent. Your brand needs to adapt the new range plans and must have agile in-season inventory management. Orders like telephone numbers, which were designed, developed, and produced in 18 months of merchandising calendar, are no more valid. In reality, the chronic problems of apparel industry has resurfaced with the pandemic. So digitalization can no longer be postponed. All core processes needs to be digitalized. Adaptation of advanced analytics and artificial intelligence is a must. So data is becoming king more than ever. The redesign of apparel organizations is also necessary. It has to be linear and more agile. We have seen that the categories is being shifted during the pandemic, like the wear to work is a loser, and homeware, loungewear, and activewear is winner. So consumers are definitely asking more from the product and more about the product. Giving reason to buy is becoming more sophisticated and difficult. Product is the king, and where can we produce this hero product? The millennials and Gen Z are thinking that the pursuit of sustainability in fashion needs to accelerate. After years of talk, it's time for brands to get real about sustainability. We also need to get real on social compliance and corporate responsibility. We need to keep human at the center of our businesses and contribute to the leveling the world. Let's stop modern slavery and create everywhere and let us feel good with what we wear. Also, the linear economy, which is take, make, waste, is to end. Circular economy is becoming the real thing, which is make, use, reuse, remake, recycle. Finally, brands must spend less on glossy, highly produced materials and should have real product. In summary, the availability of vertical sources of real product with sophisticated digitalization capabilities, sustainability, and transparency will dictate where we should go to produce. It's time to become a team, a real team with the source. This needs genuine cooperation, collaboration, and it's more than partnership. It certainly is much more than where the next cheapest needle is. With shutdown, first of all, were the cut and sew countries where they were dependent on raw materials from third countries. At this point, only China and Turkey is fully vertical across all categories and in sub-industries. Vietnam and India are knocking the doors. We need to ask ourselves, can we sustain 18 months merchandising calendar? How can we test a small batch and scale up for a possible high demand with speed to market? Are there factories who can design and develop the small batch production that we require, and can they deliver larger scale orders with speed to market if and when needed? Can our vendor in one and same geography form alliances with the mills and the sub-industries to become my genuine and focal partner? Can this new model result in increasing my gross margin, reduce my costs, enable to keep a smaller inventory, introduce and test new products, and scale when needed and reduce the overall waste? Let's not forget that we need geographic diversity and a reasonable shift from Southeast Asia to new horizons. I want to show you the Europe and US figures in imports. The EU is importing $31 billion from China and $19 billion from Bangladesh and $12 billion from Turkey. So Turkey is representing 12% of the total imports to EU. In terms of US, when you look at US, you see China is the leader again, Vietnam with $14 billion, and Bangladesh is $6 million. And Turkey is not even in the first 10 countries that are exporting to US. When you look and compare both, there's something wrong, that the world has two big demand geographies, Europe and US, and one of them is not using Turkey as much as the other. So Turkey is underutilized source, a source that produces all apparel categories, fibers, fabrics, and it's a global source. The global means that it is global, but everything is local. Again, Turkey at the hub of EMEA is the only region which is completely vertical in all categories. It is evident that sourcing will require less of a travel. So your sources needs to be digitalized and provide you transparency in sharing data, in costing, development, production, quality, and logistics. You would require your source to use tools such as 3D design. And it requires integration and calibration of color evaluation systems. So sourcing requires more and more self-audits. You need a real partner, a collaborative partner, where they can do their self-audits for your production. and the compliant programs needs to be localized. The system must reduce redundancies and duplication. I want to also show you that Turkey is the beginning of West and the end of East. So it's just in the middle of the world. If you look at the map over here, the map is showing that Turkey is just the center of the world, and Google marked this in beginning of 2000s. So you will see Turkey is just in the middle of the world, which has same proximity to East and West. And it is only a 15 days of transit time for shipments. What does Turkey offer? Turkey is world's 6th biggest apparel exporter. It has $17 billion exports. It is the 3rd biggest supplier to Europe. It's world's 2nd biggest denim supplier. It's the 3rd biggest woven supplier to world. Yet cut and sew is still the biggest category in the country. So I also want to give you like what is Turkey doing with some very well-known European brands and retailers. For Zara, I would like to tell you that Mr. Ortega last year in a speech with the Turkish manufacturers, actually global manufacturers, said to Turkish manufacturers, I'm not sure if we are making you the factory you are, or you're making Zara the way Zara is. So that's how important Turkey's contribution to the Zara business. It's all designed and developed in Turkey. So Zara does a little of a design. It's mostly coming from the Turkish manufacturers. They do design, develop, and supply to Zara. And H&M, I also want to give you an example of H&M. H&M has many new brands, like in sustainability, they have introduced few new brands. And like when it started with COS, every new brand of H&M starts production in Turkey only. Until they reach to a maturity state, everything is produced in Turkey because Turkey offers all categories and all qualities with any sustainability practices. And sometimes the US thinks that the prices in Turkey is higher compared to other countries. I just would like to tell you that one of the biggest suppliers of Primark, which is even cheaper than Walmart sometimes, is buying from Turkey, and sourcing is one of their biggest hubs. And I also want to give you another example, ASOS. In the digital native brands, Turkey is also one of the biggest suppliers to the digital new brands of the world. So Turkey has 2 million experienced workforce. It's 68% women, and the Turkish equipment machinery is mostly European. In the most important 5 fibers in the apparel industry, which is cotton, polyester, cellulosic fibers, polyamide, and polypropylene, Turkey is a major producer in all of them. It has a domestic market, and it also sells to 165 other countries other than Europe and USA. It's a lean supply chain, lean production with little or no waste. So Turkey has introduced new programs that the production is shifting from metropoles to the mid-sized cities, where the metropoles are more for design, R&D, technology, innovation, and service, with a small batch production, but the major production now, the bulk production, is more in the mid cities. So the factories are hybrid size. There's small batch productions in the metropoles, and bulk productions are in the 5th and 6th regions, where country is giving incentives for moving clusters of business into these new regions. Turkey is still a low-cost manufacturer, but definitely not a desperate country. It has the right cost structure, offers right product, right quality, which results right margin for your brand. Turkey has a vision in the industry, so it's growing with a plan based on the vision that the country has. We know that $170 billion of exports from Southeast Asia, some percent, 10% of this will be shifting to other regions, other geographies. So Turkey has made plans to take a reasonable amount of this shift, and with the local buys that the US business is coming back, it has already grown 20% this year, and the demand is still high from the other developing and leveling countries as well. So the immediate plan for Turkey is to adjust and increase the export capacity from 17 billion to low 20 billions. And in the next 3 to 5 years, further increase of export is planned to reach $30 billion. And finally, gradually, Turkey is aiming to be at $60 billion in the next 10 years. We would like to show you a movie of the industry in Turkey. So it's about 2 minutes. Please enjoy it.
TurnkeyTurkiye. An invitation to accrued knowledge and skills. Turkey, young, well-educated, taking its strength from its past to become one of the world's most important textile and apparel manufacturer. This is based on its extensive product experience, high capacity and quality standards, with our qualified and well-trained workforce, design capabilities, advanced sub-industries, industry training institutions, logistical and financial infrastructure, factories equipped with state-of-the-art technology, mostly with machinery made in Europe, such as Switzerland, Germany and Italy. And as a country specialised in each field from cotton to yarn, from fabric to apparel, we remain strong. Turkey is solution-oriented and collaborative. Its productive and forceful industry forces and takes action on all customer demands first and foremost, before the customer itself. Turkey is always a step ahead, with authentic perspectives. With digital transformation, we hold the industry that has kept up with today's contemporary communication and production systems. And now it is time to announce to the world, in a country geographically close to the markets, where high-quality production meets extensive experience, where there are numerous advantages specialised in the fields of fashion and ready-to-wear, it is in fact possible to build a more qualified and sustainable production model during a time where our global resources are rapidly decreasing. Turkey is working in full swing for a more habitable world. Join us and be part of this transformation. Let's make the change together.
Tell us which categories you're interested in. We'll also be following it up with Timo as well. And once we find the best match for your organization and your inquiries, potential inquiries, we're going to arrange in the next 2 weeks for you to meet with our factories. So with the Q&A, I would like for you to have any questions that you may have. And there is a question which I would like to start with. The question is, are all categories like denim, sweaters, and knit tops, is there factories with these categories? Yes, in the first 15 factories that we have chosen, we cover most major categories, including sweaters, knit tops, and denims, and more, including underwear and the wovens and others. So don't hesitate to reach us for any category that you're interested in. Another question is on the development time of samples. Again, this varies. It's always a little longer in the beginning of a relationship for each party to understand each other. But regular development times for sampling is like 2 weeks. And depending on availability of fabric or light fabric and the principles that you set with the factory, it can be as short as a week and probably 3 to 4 weeks, including the fabric development time. So the next question is, how are the minimums for independent designers? So here's the thing. I would presume that the independent designer is a startup. The good thing with Turkey is that you may be able to grow with your factory together. And the minimums are, it could be, it varies, but it could be 100 pieces to start with. And like even big buyers start with small batches to try new products. And again, it could be a few hundreds, which could scale up as per the demand.
I want to actually speak to that as well. You know, with the Timo Weiland brand, we, we're able to do small batches with Turkey, with you under your supervision. And it was far superior, the experience, just because of the turnaround time, minimal to no surcharges, very affordable and accessible. And we were able to really grow, from smaller batches to larger quantities under the partnership with Turkey.
Another question is, are there various reliable third-party QC services available in Turkey? Do major third-party labs like Intertek, SGS, or BV have offices in Turkey? The answer is yes. There are many QC services available, independent, private, and also established QC houses like Intertek, like SGS. And yes, Intertek and SGS and BV have all offices in Turkey and do testing locally. There's a question about sustainability. I could tell you that Turkey is bounded with the European laws in environmental laws and social compliance requirements, and it's much higher compared to US standards and requirements. So like everything is ecotex, meaning that there's no harm to environment with the dyes, with the colors that you dye in Turkey, and the social compliance is very stringent. I don't see any questions right now, but I would like to repeat that we will continue with one-to-one meetings starting tomorrow and for 2 weeks. The hours should be more like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. because of the time difference between Turkey and US. Turkey is 7 hours ahead, so our 9 a.m. over here is your Turkey's 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So there's another question. In some sectors in China and Vietnam, I have found that it is better, easier, more reliable to work with larger factory groups rather than independent factories. Is that true with apparel in Turkey, or is it better to work with independent factories? So the China and Vietnam have a better, easier, more reliable to work with larger factory groups. Well, one of the groups that we have as executive in our seminar today, the group has a $1 billion business volume. So they have multiple factories, and there's so many groups with multiple factories with hundreds of $1 million worth of annual business volume, and they do have multiple categories. Yes, you can, or we can put you through these large groups which has multiple factories among multiple categories. Another question, how do you select the manufacturers to match with the right brands? Well, this has been my experience for the last 30 years. I've been exporting to US since 1986, and I did run programs for AMC. I don't know if you remember AMC. It was Associated Merchandising Corporation. It was a buyers association, and I was in the executive team, and my job was to make sure that the placement is correct, meaning that the buyer is doing business with the right factory who has capability, price point, and everything required for providing the service to the specific brand. So I have a lot of knowledge in appointing the right factory to the right brand. The other thing is we have offices both in Istanbul and in New York. We're right across Empire State Building, and we have showrooms over here. So we're looking into adding to our showrooms the current factories which are participating to this event. So starting December, we will welcome you to the showroom here in New York, and we'll have people always working with you to be in touch with our factories, and we will follow up until we initiate the business and incubate the relationship, but then you'll freely be doing business with the factories directly. And if you need new categories, we're always available. Again, thank you very much today for joining us. And we're looking forward to meeting again and arranging your one-to-one meetings. Thank you and have a great day.